Guess who's back? Bubba G. And Bubba G is teaching Bible basics for all those who want to know, but especially those 10 and under. Because you need to learn the Bible. In the last videos, we saw that Moses dies. Yes, Moses died after he did all those miracles in the wilderness. He led the people out of Egypt, the water from the rock, the Red Sea, manna, and quail. Then he saw God on Mount Sinai. Remember? God was coming to Moses in the cloud. And then we saw the 10 Commandments. God gave Moses the laws to give to the people, tell them what to do. Because the people, God's people, the Israelites, were on their way to the promised land. Remember, God promised them a land. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said, I will give you this land forever, and your descendants will occupy this land, the land of Canaan, that flows with milk and honey. So Moses dies. Then Joshua is called. Yes, Joshua. Because somebody needed to take Moses' place. So Joshua is the man. So now we're in the book of Joshua. Yes. Joshua 1. God commands Joshua to conquer Canaan. After the death of Lord's servant Moses, the Lord spoke to the Lord spoke to Moses' helper, Joshua, son of Nun. He said, my servant Moses is dead. Get ready now, you and all the people of Israel, and cross the Jordan River into the land that I am giving you. Into the land that I am giving them. As I told Moses, I have given you and all my people the entire land that you will be marching over. Your borders will reach from the desert in the south to the Lebanon mountains in the north, from the great Euphrates River in the east, through the Hittite country, to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. Joshua, no one will be able to defeat you as long as you live. I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will also be with you. I will never abandon you. Be determined and confident, for you will be the leader of these people as they occupy this land from which I promised their ancestors. Verse 7. Just be determined, be confident, and make sure that you obey the whole law that my servant Moses gave you. Do not neglect any part of it, and you will succeed wherever you go. Be sure that the book of the law is always read in your worship. Study it day and night, and make sure that you obey everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Remember that I have commanded you to be determined and confident. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for I, the Lord your God, am with you wherever you go. So this is what God is telling Joshua. He said, Don't forget the law that I gave you. Be courageous. Be determined. Now Joshua gives orders to the people. Verse 10. Excuse me. Then Joshua ordered the leaders to go through the camp and to say to the people, get some food ready, because in 3 days you are going to cross the Jordan River to occupy the land that the Lord your God is giving you. Joshua said to the tribes of Reuben and Gad, and to half the tribe of Manasseh, remember how the Lord's servant Moses told you that the Lord your God will give you this land on the east side of the Jordan as your home? Excuse me, Bubba G got something in his throat. Your wives, your children, and your livestock will stay here, but your soldiers, armed for battle, will cross over ahead of the Israelites in order to help them until they have occupied the land west of the Jordan that the Lord your God has given them. When he has given safety to all the tribes of Israel, then you may come back and settle here in your own land east of the Jordan, which Moses, the Lord's servant, gave you. Then answered Joshua, we will do everything you have told us, and will go everywhere you send us. We will obey you just as we always obeyed Moses. And may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Whoever questions your authority or disobeys any of your orders will be put to death. Be determined and be confident. So what do we see here? God commands Joshua to go and conquer the land of Canaan, the promised land. And he gives his people a command to conquer Jericho. Jericho is next. Yes. Now, let's go to chapter 3. The next morning, Joshua and all the people of Israel got up early, left the camp of Acacia, A-C-A-C-I-A, Acacia, and went to the Jordan, where they camped while waiting to cross it. See, now the people are going to cross the Jordan. 3 days later, the leaders went through the camp and told the people, when you see the priests carrying the covenant box of the Lord your God, break camp and follow them. You have never been here before, so they will show you the way to go. But do not get near the covenant box. Stay about half a mile behind it. See, the covenant box is holy. So God is saying, don't get close to it. Something bad will happen to you. Joshua told the people, purify yourselves, because tomorrow the Lord will perform miracles among you. Then he told the priests to take the covenant box and go with it ahead of the people. They did as he said. The Lord said to Joshua, what I do today will make all the people of Israel begin to honor you as a great man. And they will realize that I am with you as I was with Moses. Tell the priests carrying the covenant box that when they reach the river, they must wade in and stand near the bank. Then Joshua said to the people, come here and listen to what the Lord God has to say as you advance. He will surely drive out the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Havites, the Perizzites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, and the Jebusites. You will know that the living God is among you when the covenant box of the Lord of all the earth crosses the Jordan ahead of you. Now choose 12 men, one from each of the tribes of Israel. When the priests who carried the covenant box of the Lord and all the earth put their feet in the water, the Jordan will stop flowing, and the water coming downstream will pile up in one place. It was harvest time, so the river was in flood. When the people left the camp to cross the Jordan, the priests went ahead of them, carrying the covenant box. As soon as the priest stepped into the river, the water stopped flowing and piled up far upstream at Adam, the city beside Zarephath. The flowing downstream to the Dead Sea was completely cut off, and the people were about to cross over near Jericho. While the people walked across on dry ground, the priest carrying the Lord's covenant box stood on dry ground in the middle of the Jordan until all the people had crossed over. So what do we see here? God told them to send the mighty men, to send the priests with the covenant box to go ahead of the people. So when they got in the Jordan, God did a miracle. And the waters stopped flowing. And they piled up in one place. Then what happened? Then they crossed on dry ground. Yes, just like they did in the Red Sea. God did another miracle in the Jordan. Yes.